Okay? Jacob, the Lord coming back in his ships to destroy you. And then it says what? Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And that's pursuing to the kingdom of heaven. Okay? Being perfect and righteous, having the laws written in our minds. Okay? You see, this show you the way how this society is set up, looking at the environment, looking at all these skyscrapers and these roads. It's showing you that we're at the end, man. Because this is not how life is supposed to be. Okay? You know, you're not supposed to be having mass pollution and destruction for when it comes to building up a kingdom.
Verse.
Oh, is it? Okay, I know that.
Back in Genesis 25, verse 30. And Esau and the boys grew. Genesis 25, 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field.
That's right, a cunning hunter and a man of the field. And we know you so-called white people, you love to hunt. Look at all your mighty men that do it. What's this guy's name? Bear Giles, right? If you know him, he's on the what's it called, the OLM channel, all right? Which is like it's not the History Channel, it's like the Survivor channel. And what does he do? He goes out in the field, he survives in the wild. Bear Grylls, yeah. Right? He's the first Edomite to go have a full course meal in 10,000 miles in the sky, right? With an oxygen mask, you know? So we know how you Edomites get down, man. You're cunning hunters and you're a man of the field, okay?
And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
That's right. Jake is a plain man. And when you look up the word plain, it really goes back to perfect, upright. That's what Jake likes to do. He's like a lion. He doesn't like to move around too much, like that old lion. He sits down and he likes to chill. He thinks, he meditates, and he builds upon things, man. And that proves that the North American Native Indians, right, which are the tribe of Gad, Seminole, etc., you're a part of Jacob, man. You come from him. Because what do? You did live in tents. You lived off the land. You were nomadic. You moved with the seasons. Okay? That's Jake, man. That's a spirit of Yahweh.
Verse 28. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison.
Yeah, because, you know, and also he was the firstborn. You know, a father's going to have that connection with his firstborn that came out of his loins, man. You know, that's just a physical, natural man thing to do. All right, but it was set up in the spirit for Jacob to get this blessing. Keep going.
Well, also, I'm gonna add, like, you know, Esau loved to cook steak.
Oh yeah.
Like all them well-known restaurants, it's always Esau in them. It's not Moab. It's not nobody else, but he knows how to do a steak, a big fat steak. You know what I mean? Without season and spice and barbecue. So they know it's him. You know?
Yeah, and he knows how to do it proper.
Done.
You know that, right? Remember that barbecue? He was making it proper, but the problem was this damn guy had every other creature on the grill. You couldn't eat from it.
But Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sought pottage. And Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
That's right. Yeah, because he was sojourning so far, you know, coming, hunting, running around in the wilderness, you know, doing things of the field. You're going to come back home faint and hungry and starving, right? But you could see that this was set up in the spirit for Jacob to supplant Esau. Keep going.
Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage.
And you see that today when Jake has his little stores, right? The Benjamites. You see Esau, he comes and he strolls in. And you know how he looks all destitute, and he's waiting for your meal. All right, that's the exact same thing how it happened here, man. That's how Esau is when he comes around your food. Keep going.
For I am faint, therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die.
And that shows you, you know, Esau doesn't really have integrity. All right, and that shows you how Jake is. He'll get you at your weakest moment. You know, because when you're tired, you're less likely to make a very reasonable decision. I mean, right? So that's how the Lord set it up for him to lose his blessing. When you look at it, He gets you when you're at your lowest. All right. Now, if you're a man of the Lord, when you're at your lowest, you're supposed. What does it say in Sirach chapter 2? You're supposed to cleave to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai to your last end, man. And we can see Esau, he didn't do that. He didn't cleave to the Lord because he knew the law. Right? Going?
And what profit shall this birthright do to me?
So he's like, oh, what should this do to me? You know, what is the Lord, man? Because your birthright is within the law. Okay, you're supposed to get that inheritance of your father, which is a spiritual blessing, and you get spiritual, and you get physical riches. Could someone get Job chapter 21? Right, and let's find it there. Job 21 and 14.
Job 21 verse 14. Therefore they say unto Yahweh, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways.
And that's exactly what Esau says. He's like, what the hell is the Lord going to do for me? I'm not going to go with his ways. That's why when we were talking about a bit earlier, Esau knows how to cook the food properly. He knows how to grill. All right, he knows how to cook the meat, but he just won't do it, man. Instead, he'll cook the steak bloody, medium rare, and then he'll put a bunch of shrimps around it. All right, that's Esau, man.
He says his birthright is nothing to him. So he's saying that that's what he's actually saying. It's nothing to me. I don't need to be lawful. You gotta fulfill prophecy. Go ahead, Daddy.
What is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto him?
Yeah, because he's not spiritual. He doesn't see the prophet ahead in the spirit. Okay, he didn't see on what blessings that he was going to get in the future to establish his nation in righteousness. All right, he only looks at what he could see in front of him, the carnal. And that's exactly what you saw in Genesis, the 25th chapter, about Esau denying his inheritance. Okay, that's it from there.
Back in Genesis 25, verse 33.
And that shows you that's why this world is run through capitalism. All right, what does capitalism and democracy promote? It just promotes things that you can see in the flesh, right? Look at how these companies are run, these corporations. They don't think about terms of the environment. They don't think of terms of how the future is going to be for the people. They just want to make a quick profit. That's why in Job it said, "What shall the Lord profit me in his ways?" Because when you follow the ways of the Lord, yes, it takes time. Things just don't happen overnight. Okay, it can, but there's systems and formulas that you have to follow while serving the Lord. And a lot of people don't want to wait when following the formula of the Lord, which is the dietary law, the land Sabbath. Okay, Esau doesn't want to follow that, and that's exactly how his corporations are run. That's how the Rothschilds think. Okay, keep going.
Verse 33, and Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
That's right, he swore, he made a contract with Jacob, man, a verbal contract. And to this very day, he's upset about that contract. And what I mean about how he is, I'm talking about your elites, your super elites. They're upset about that. That's why they're going to do whatever it takes possible to keep their rulership on this side here. And not wanting to see you Israelites rise up ever again, man, because they know they lost the blessing. Keep going. Oh, you got a precept? Yeah, bring it up.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
That's right. He's a vessel that's outside of the temple. He can't come in the temple of the Lord. All right, he's defiled, he's profane, he's a fornicator, a liar, a covenant breaker. That's his MO.
Murderer.
All right, yeah, a murderer, right? Murder and a thief is synonymous, man. When you take someone's life unjustly, you're a thief. Okay? And he sold his birthright for one morsel of meat. When you look at the word morsel, it means a little piece. So he sold out. He's the biggest sellout. Esau, you're the biggest seller, and you look down upon Jake when they sell out for things, but they're just really following you. They're following your ways. All right?
Verse 17, for ye know how that afterwards, when he would have inherited the blessings.
Yeah, he would have inherited blessings if he just stayed temperate, if he just had some integrity. But you know what? That's all through the Spirit of the Lord, because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai doesn't like you